Welcome back to the Denny Cards YouTube channel, here to do an ongoing series for my eBay sales. So last week, week 4 of May 2025, I have 24 sales. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. That would just take, I think, too long. I just wanted to pluck out some that are maybe illustrative or maybe will tell some stories along the way. I bought 500 cards from a local friend, and I have just been trying my very best to list them up on eBay as quick as possible. For those of you who do know, you get 250 free listings per month from eBay, and then after that you have to pay a nominal fee. Posted maybe about 100 cards, mix of auction, buy it now, or best offer, and mostly low-end stuff. Like we're talking like under $20, some even like maybe like $1, $2 cards. Before we get to the very first sale, I wanted to say I have been doing my absolute best. If you've seen my past videos, I've been trying to get away from low-end 5,000 card playlist where I try to get rid of 5,000 cards, mostly giving them away, but I just can't help myself. It is almost like Hotel California. But you can never leave. I just keep gravitating towards low-end cards, and I don't know, I think maybe, you know, in some ways I didn't want my brand to become low-end, and like, you know, I wanted to do higher-end stuff, but you know what, I'm actually really enjoying it. It is low risk, low reward, and it's just a grind. And you know, what I've realized in the hobby and in life is I am really a worker bee.
Possession!
I'm a grunt. I love working. I love grinding. And so I wanted to show you, out of these 24 sales, the gross total amount that I saw from eBay. It's at $256.64. So we are not talking a high amount at all. This is really just ground game, just grinding it out, leveling up little by little, having the feedback rating go up, having your seller rating go up little by little. I am a top rated seller on eBay, which means I get a 10% back from the total seller fees, which I'm going to show you in this video. So let's get right to it. We have, out of the 24 sales, we have 19 eBay standard envelope, which is also PWE. But as you can see, I don't use PWE. I use these stock envelopes that are about 20 cents each if you buy about like 100 of them or something like that. And so these are envelopes from Card Shells. I will put down in the descriptions if you would like to use code Denny to get 10% off. But, you know, if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. 19 eBay standard envelope, and then we have 4 slabs. And all 4 slabs are auction. The 19 eBay standard envelope, 8 were auction, 10 were immediate buy nows, some of them within minutes of posting the cards, and then 2 were O best offer. 2 were or best offer. So that's where I wanted to start, because that's where, of course, you got the negotiations back and forth. So let's start with the very first card without further ado. We have a Bryce Harper relic card. It's from 2023. And this card sold for $6.99. So I initially had it listed at $9.99. That was kind of like comps from like late 2024. $6.99 was the subtotal. 99-cent shipping, sales tax of 48 cents for an order total of $8.46. And from that, eBay takes away the sales tax of 48 cents. Then they do transaction fees of $1.31. Shipping label, 69 cents, and order earnings of $5.98. Now, that $9.99, I do like to use the 99-cent approach because I think psychologically it does work on people to let them know that it is a deal. I think there is I don't know, like a world of difference between $9.99 and $10. So I put it at $9.99. The buyer offered $6.99. Again, they could have said $7, but they said $6.99. And instead of going back and forth on this card, I just immediately saw that the comps were recently around that area. Actually, when I look at market movers, I think I'm going to see that on May 11th, it sold for $5.50. And on April 20th, it sold for $4.33. And again, before that, it was selling at 7, 5, 10, 11. But, you know, most recently, this card was selling at around $5.50. So when I saw $6.99, I didn't go back and forth. I didn't want to lose the sale, so I just went ahead and accepted the offer instead of countering. So this card is going to this individual. So thank you so much. And of course, as I like to do with my eBay sales, not only do I want to make the sale, but what I want to do is have a repeat customer. I want to tell them thank you so much. So I do have pre-written notes, pre-written thank you notes that I do just kind of print out with my printer, and then I just kind of cut them. I can maybe show that process in a future video. Please let me know if you do want to see that, and I'd be glad to show it. But I do add on a sticker, and then I'm going to tuck that in there, and then this goes in very perfectly neatly into the envelope, and there it goes. So that's going to go out to that buyer. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so for this next one, this is going to be a 2024 Topps Chrome. Again, this is unlicensed, but this is an Ennis rake straw. It is out of 150. I think I forgot to put that into the listing, which is totally my fault. That is something that I missed. I should not have missed it. But this card, it is, again, the backs of these modern cards, I just do not like. It's so basic. But anyway, that's besides the point. This is a sticker auto. His auto isn't great. But Ennis Rake Straw out of 150. I had this listed for $6, for $5.99. And the buyer offered $3.99. So they offered $4. Let me look at some comps. I think the comps on this card, this is definitely a my bad situation. I definitely sold this too low because I made a mistake. I didn't put into the listing out of 150, but good news is this card was only like a 50-cent to $1 card when I bought it, and so I'm okay having gotten a small modest profit out of this. But this card recently sold on May 24th, the one out of 150, the Auto Blue Refractor, for $12.99. So I definitely left some meat on the bones for the person who bought this. But yeah, the regular auto, which I thought it was, went for $99 on May 19th. This card, I had it up for $5.99, so $6. I should have had it for higher, but I had it for $6, and then the buyer offered $4. You know, in hindsight, he probably should just went with buy it now real quick before anyone else noticed. But he put it at $4, and then so I sent him a message saying, "Hi, thanks for your interest. Would you be willing to meet me in the middle at $5?" So $4.99. And he, I think within seconds or minutes, he instantly accepted the offer. So again, congrats to the person who bought this. It is a card that sold for $4.99. Shipping was 99 cents. Sales tax 40 cents for an order total of $6.38. Out of that, you minus out the sales tax of 40 cents, minus out the transaction fees of $1.06, shipping label 69 cents for an order earnings of $4.23. And so thank you again, the person who got that. Good eagle eye. He totally saw the top having the 150. So this card, again, very recently sold for about $13. And so, you know, it's a nice little come up for them. That said, they just set a comp. Actually, no, they didn't set the comp because it is a hidden comp. It is a hidden comp for them because they know that they bought a card out of 150 that is listed just as a regular auto. And so that is my bad. But it's okay. I'm not upset about it. I'm not pressed about it. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we are moving on to the auctions. So these are all 99-cent auctions with 99-cent shipping. And this one is really interesting because this one is a base card. It is a rated prospect of Paige Becker's. What I didn't realize when I bought this for 50 cents to $1 was that it was an $8 card. I did not know. I just looked and I said Paige Becker's is pretty hot right now, and you know people want her card. So let me just pick this up. I bought it in a lot again, and so when I purchased this card, I did not know it was an $8 card, and this card had 9 bids. $8.51. We have 99-cent shipping, sales tax of 66 cents. And check this out, a road improvement and food delivery fee.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
of 50 cents for an order total of $10.66. I actually went ahead and looked because I was like, what is this? Apparently it is from the state of Minnesota. I did not realize that the state of Minnesota has that type of fee. But of course, eBay will minus that out on the ledger on the other half. So they minus out the sales tax, they minus out the road improvement and food delivery fee, and they minus out the transaction fees of $1.67, shipping label of 69 cents, and an ad fee general of 21 cents for an order earnings of $6.93. Now, why in this one is there an ad fee general? It is because I ended up deciding to promote this listing. You can promote a listing anywhere from between 2% to, actually, I don't know what the high end is. I imagine it's not 100%, but as low as 2%, you can promote a listing for your auctions just to give them a little bit of a boost. Let's delve into the fees for this card just real quick. I am going to go into the kind of like transaction details and go into the fee breakdown, see fee details. And what we're going to see here is the fees are based on $10.66 because, as some of you may know, eBay charges the fee based on the total price of the subtotal and the tax and the shipping. So fees based on $10.66. They minus out a variable percentage. Now this is anywhere between 13 to 15%. As you can see for me, it is 13.25 and it is $1.41. And then, because I'm a top-rated seller, I get a discount. I get 10% of that back. So here, it's a really small amount, but I get, for bigger cards, it can be a larger amount than this. But I got back 14 cents. So the variable percentage amount was $1.27. And then their fixed fee, listing fee, is 40 cents. So you add 40 cents and $1.27 for total fees of $1.67. And that is the breakdown for the fees. And then you add on that ad fee general of 21 cents. Again, very small numbers because these percentages are off of like small cards. But I wanted to boost the visibility on this because I thought, it's just a base card. How well could it do? Ultimately, it went for much more than I thought because, again, when I bought this card for like $1, I did not realize it was like an $8 card. So the order earnings on this card were $6.93, and that's after all the fees. So this one was definitely a win for me, and I'm really happy about that. So thank you so much to the buyer from Minnesota, and I'm sorry about that 50-cent road improvement and food delivery fee.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It might make Minnesota one of the worst places to buy cards on eBay, I suppose. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so for the next card, there really isn't much to say about these next two cards. They're both Victor rookies, base cards. This is a Phoenix rookie card, and the next one, it is also a Phoenix, but it's an insert. It's called Paragon. They're both base. They're not silver or any sort of color. So for the Victor that was Phoenix base, this one sold for $2.06, shipping of 99 cents, sales tax of 20 cents for an order total of $3.25. Sometimes it's hard for me to do this because it's like chewing gum and talking and walking at the same time. Sales tax, you minus that out. Transaction fees of 69 cents and a shipping label, 69 cents for an order earnings of $1.67. For buying it for $1, in a huge lot, it helps. But again, there are some cards from that 500 card lot that I'm just not going to be able to sell. And so that's why it would have been good to get more than that for this card. But, it's okay. We just move on, and hopefully the person who bought it sends me leaves me a nice review or a nice message saying that I promptly sent them this card. So this card, let's see, the Paragon. So the Paragon actually sold for more. I thought that the base regular would have sold for more, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So for this particular card, we have a subtotal of $4.26, shipping 99 cents, sales tax of 44 cents for an order total of $5.69, minus out the sales tax, minus out the transaction fees of 98 cents, shipping label 69 cents, and again, like these envelopes cost about 20 cents per. maybe 18 cents if you want to be really specific about it. And then the order earnings for this are going to be $3.58. Again, for like a dollar card. I ended up winning on it, so I'm not too pressed about how much I won on it. I'm not going to do too many of these auction cards because I want to get to the buy it now cards, because maybe there's some more interesting stories on those. But this one I did want to briefly talk about because it is not a like an ultra modern card. This card is a LeBron, a second year. It's a hoops card. It is hot list. I just love having this card. I remember buying this card in a value bin for $1, and I thought to myself, I just wanted to like maybe grade it or do something fun with it. There's really nothing fancy about it, but I don't know. Like, I'm gonna miss this card. It's a second year LeBron, sold for $4.05, shipping $99, sales tax $39, order total of $5.43. Minus at the sales tax, minus at the transaction fees of 95 cents. Shipping label, 69 cents for an order earnings of $3.40. Again, for a card that I picked up in a value bin for $1. Not too bad. We just win and we move on. Oops, I almost forgot the sticker. So anytime you can get a profit, you just take it and you move on. So thank you to the buyer of that card. Hey, it's Denny in the edit bay right now. Just wanted to let you know that the volume on the regular video is off, but I am showing some, I think maybe 3 or 4 auctions here, and this is just the close of the part 1. I wanted to make a part 2. It's going to talk more about the bin, the buy it now smashes, and also the slab purchases, and I think that there's some fun stuff to learn here. I mean, I didn't know about the Minnesota road improvement and food delivery tax, but there's also that, the promoted listings, the top rated seller discount, and just kind of like, eking out small profits on these value bin boxes. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.